Coming up on today's show, Tesla publishes its first quarter 2019 financials, Ford invests in Rivian to the tune of $500 million, and Elon Musk says Tesla Robotaxis will be driving around by the end of next year, pending regulatory approval, of course. These stories and more coming next. Yep, it's time for another roundup show, so whether you're just up for the day and reaching for the coffee cup, or having a lazy afternoon catching up on the YouTubes, I'm here to guide you through everything that's been going on this week. Today's show is a little Tesla heavy, but that's because there's been a lot going on this week at Tesla. First off, the company released its first quarter financials for the year. They show Tesla made a loss of $702 million for the quarter due to a pretty large drop in sales caused by a multitude of reasons we don't have time to go into here, vehicles being in transit at quarter's end, continued heavy investment in vehicle production tweaks and development, and the payment of $920 million in convertible notes, which matured during the quarter. Tesla also confirmed start of production for the Tesla Semi will be pushed back to 2020. Following on from weeks of speculation over which automakers were interested in investing, Rivian has confirmed that it was getting a $500 million investment from Ford this week. As part of this investment deal, Rivian will partner with Ford to develop an all-new battery electric vehicle for the Ford family. While neither company said what that would be, I guess we're talking about pickups, although I may be wrong because Ford did say that it will continue working on its own all-electric Ford F-150, so any new vehicle would be in addition to this model. Are you a Tesla fan in countries like the UK, Australia, Japan, New Zealand, and of course the autonomous territory of Hong Kong, where cars have their steering wheels on the right-hand side of the vehicle? Well, it's time to rejoice. The Tesla Model 3 is coming to you very soon. The news is broken midweek by Elon Musk, who confirmed on Twitter that Tesla would be opening its order books for right-hand drive Model 3s in the UK next week, followed shortly afterwards by Japan, Australia, New Zealand and Hong Kong. Sadly, there's no mention right now of Ireland, South Africa, India or any other country that drives on the left with the steering wheel on the right. Sorry. BMW has officially announced it's inked 2 new deals to source the cobalt it uses in its electric car battery packs direct from mines in Australia and Morocco. This, the company says, is to ensure that any cobalt it uses is not mined using child labour. The company had previously purchased cobalt from mines in the DRC, but says the new deals will ensure it has no part in unethical practices. The announcement comes at the same time as a new initiative at the London Metal Exchange, which aims to delist or ban brands that use irresponsibly sourced materials. Ahead of its quarterly earnings report this week, Tesla held its first Investor Autonomy Day, at which it gave investors and analysts a chance to see and hear up close what Tesla's vision for full autonomy is. 3 in-depth presentations on Tesla's third-generation autopilot hardware and software were given, and Tesla confirmed that autopilot Gen 3 hardware is now going into all of its vehicles. By this time next year, Tesla CEO Elon Musk said he believed Tesla would have its first fully autonomous cars in operation, pending regulatory approval, alongside a new Robotaxi service that he said would have a very low cost of operation indeed. It's been on sale for a while in the US and recently nabbed both European and World Car of the Year awards, but Jaguar's all-electric I-Pace SUV isn't selling very well. According to figures from Automotive News, Jaguar has barely sold 1,000 examples since the car went on sale in the US in October last year. This is in stark contrast to Europe, where many markets are lapping the I-Pace up. The flip side? If you do want a Jaguar I-Pace and you're in the US, Jaguar is offering 0% finance on all I-Pace models at the moment. As any Tesla owner will tell you, getting insurance for a Tesla Model S, X or 3 can be expensive, with many insurers now quoting super expensive rates for Tesla owners. As part of the quarterly earnings call this week, Elon Musk looked to provide some relief to that, announcing Tesla will launch its own insurance products for Tesla owners next month. Premiums will be calculated by using data from customers' cars to figure out how safely they drive, how much they drive, where they drive, and when. You might not think of the Evergreen State as being one known for vehicle production, although I should note it's home to Commuter Cars, the company behind the Tango. But this week, Mullen announced it had chosen Washington State as home to the assembly plant for the Mullen Chantu K50 sports car, pending regulatory approval, that is. Since the K50 is carbon fibre bodied, the car's composite panels will be shipped from China to Washington State, where they will be mated to the car's body and chassis, making it a US assembled rather than US made vehicle. Not to be outdone, Daimler announced this week that it's chosen my current home city of Portland, Oregon, as the location for its electric truck production line. Daimler says its Freightliner EM2 and E-Cascadia electric trucks will be produced on a production line across from its main Portland campus. In announcing the new facility, I happened across this picture of the EM2 electric truck, taken literally across the street from our production studio, right over there. And I had no idea it was there. Otherwise, we'd have gone and geeked out on the truck for a bit. And now it's time for short shorts. Karma Automotive has issued a stop sale and recall on all 2018 Karma Revero plug-in hybrids after it was discovered there was a defective rollover sensor in the side curtain airbag system. All recalls will be carried out under warranty. Colorado has become the latest place to pass a bill prosecuting anyone who parks in an EV charging space and isn't actively charging. Designed to tackle icing when internal combustion engine cars park in EV charging bays, it will hand out $150 fines to violators, including EV owners who haven't moved on after charging has completed. Tesla launched revised versions of the Model S and Model X with new efficient motors, 200 kilowatt charging capabilities, and a few other tweaks. The Model S long range now has an estimated 370 miles per charge range, and the Model X long range gets 325 miles. Electrify America announced 9 new partnerships this week to roll out more DC quick charging stations across the United States. In total, it says it plans to install 484 new sites by July, with a total of 2,000 DC quick chargers between them. In addition to the new Model S and Model X motors and improved charging, Tesla has confirmed its V2 supercharger sites can now provide a total of 150 kilowatts of power to all supercharger-compatible cars, up from the 145 kilowatts it had originally announced. Penske Truck Leasing has switched on 14 new DC quick charging stations for heavy-duty electric trucks as 4 of its Southern California facilities. Designed for heavy-duty use, they will help Penske and its customers make the switch to electric. Elon Musk is known for making some pretty wild promises on Twitter, but this week he said that Tesla will make a new all-electric silent leaf blower. If it were anyone else, I'd suggest he was joking. But does anyone not remember the not a flamethrower? Chinese automaker Byton says it's business as usual, despite some pretty big management shake-ups, the departure of one of its founders, Carsten Brightfield, and questions about funding. The company says it's still on track to launch its first EV this July. Alphabet's self-driving car and Robotaxi arm Waymo has chosen a Detroit factory to mass-produce its own fully autonomous cars. It's not clear if the vehicles will be built from the ground up, but Waymo says it has plans to create 400 jobs at the facility. We've heard rumours for some time that Kawasaki is working on an all-electric version of its popular Ninja sport bike, and now new patents surfaced this week suggest that it's also looking into developing a unique battery swapping system for the same. Watch this space. Taiwanese company Prologium, which specialises in solid-state batteries, has announced a partnership with Chinese automaker Innovate. Innovate is yet another Tesla wannabe, but this partnership could see the world's first production solid-state battery electric vehicle. Peugeot has officially opened up the order books for the E208 electric hatch. Buyers can put a deposit down to buy one, but final pricing and specs have yet to be announced. Range for the E208 is said to be 211 miles on the WLTP test cycle. A prototype MG ZS EV was spotted fast charging in Germany this week. The car, which is an electric variant of the already in production MG ZS, recently launched in China and will go on sale in Europe and New Zealand in the coming months. Washington State, Oregon, and California have announced their intent to replicate the West Coast Electric Highway for electric cars, but for electric trucks instead. Using a similar approach, they hope to install heavy-duty truck-friendly charging stations along the I-5. Despite producing several concept cars and teasing us with what an electric future could look like, Bentley's current management seems unsure of electric vehicles, saying for now that current battery technology isn't a good fit for what their customers do with their cars. Seat brand boss Luca De Meo says that Seat's recently unveiled Minimo concept car, which looks a little bit like a Twizy, could save the city car. Noting full-size cars are over-engineered for modern trips across town, he seems to suggest the Minimo is destined for car club and by-the-mile rental services. Some US states who are getting settlement money from the Dieselgate scandal are using that money to clean up their own fleet. Colorado, for example, just announced that it's buying 27 new battery-powered buses and one CNG bus with its payout. And those are your shorts. There will be more next week. If you've watched this channel for any length of time, you'll know that I'm a fan of classic vehicles, especially ones that have been sympathetically converted to battery electric power. And this week I have a new vehicle to lust after. Enter the Zero Labs electric Ford Bronco. Just 150 examples will be made, but Zero Labs will strip each vehicle down and completely restore them mechanically before adding a 70 kilowatt-hour battery pack, 330 kilowatts of electric motors, and a promised range of 190 miles. Interestingly too, a 5-speed manual transmission will be standard, along with a transfer box. Don't ask the price because I don't know it. And finally, this week saw the premiere of the Avengers Endgame movie, and of course, that means lots of red carpet action, plus a surprise appearance of the Audi e-tron GT. While the car isn't in production yet, Robert Downey Jr., who of course plays Iron Man in the franchise, turned up to the premiere in the e-tron GT. It's not the first time he's driven it either. He was given a sneak peek earlier this year, and it does seem a fitting vehicle to arrive in given the fact that Iron Man had an R8 e-tron in his personal collection in Iron Man 2. But before you get all excited in the comments, please, no spoilers. I've not seen the movie yet. And on that note, it's the end of this week's show. And don't forget to like, comment and share and bash that notification bell. We've just tweaked our Patreon membership levels to give you access to special Discord channels as well as discounts in our swag shop. So if you're not signed up yet, please do consider it. I'll be back next week, but until then, I hope you have a great weekend and don't forget to be better, kinder and smarter to one another. Keep evolving.